I love it!
My brothers and sisters in Christ, do not put coffee up your ass.
A bit nutty.
Yeah, no, welcome in, everybody. This is the podcast, the noise with the boys. That's what we call it.
The Brotherhood of White. Oh wait.
No, we just we got two big topics that we want to talk about today. Starting with the first one here being, has our desire for instant gratification ruined? And Zach wrote this, quote unquote, the vibes. So that's the kind of where we're going to lead off here, and then the second topic would be the rise of pseudo-intellectuals. So stay tuned for that. But first of all, instant gratification. Why do we love it? Why do we hate it? I think I love it. I love it!
Damn, someone's got a strong opinion on this shit.
I'm gonna do it!
I'm gonna do it!
Oh my God.
No. See, I think it's part of me is instant gratification is because delayed gratification is the alternative, right? So that comes with, I mean, list some examples, right? Like working out, being healthy, things like that. Like you don't really necessarily see it the same day you do it. So it's hard. Like it's one of those things where, with TikTok culture and things like that, and in my generation especially, kind of they don't even know what delayed gratification is. They don't know it. They don't know what it's like waiting for the next episode of a series to come out because they're binge watching it on Netflix, right? They don't know what the anticipation is for a video game because they can download it the same day. They don't have to wait in line for it like they did back in the day. So and you can put that with anything like consoles, anything that's kind of like, I don't know, in that kind of realm. So that's delayed gratification. And I think the payoff for that, and you guys can kind of say if I'm right or wrong here, if I'm near the mark that we want to talk about, but delayed gratification makes the experience almost better, probably better, because you almost earn it in a way than you just simply clicking a button and it's there. So thoughts?
No, I mean that's exactly when I kind of brought or thought of this kind of topic and why I think it's interesting is there is part of that, right? It's delayed gratification. You have to work for it, wait for it, whatever the case may be. And but I think also what made me think of it is the stuff sort of tangential to that experience. So I'll use the example of music because it's something. But I've done this or had this experience or this thought with video games, movies, any number of things. So when I used to go and buy CDs, because I'm old enough to where buying CDs was a fucking thing that you did, and I still have just bins of these goddamn things. The experience that I had was I would go to the store and I would look through, and I wasn't even always looking for a specific album. There are times where I would just go, Best Buy used to sell racks and racks of CDs, so I'd go to Best Buy and I would comb the racks for the new metal music that was coming out, whatever, and I would find an album, either one I'd heard of, a band I'd heard of. I've bought albums based on how cool the album art looked, and it's worked out for me almost every time. I remember like Black Dahlia Murder's Nocturnal album was one like that. I was like, oh, this is dark and spooky and scary, and the name Black Dahlia Murder sounds fucking cool, and it ripped my absolute fucking head off when I listened to it. But the experience of you grab the CD, you buy it, you go through the thing, and then I'd run out to my car and you fight the cellophane, with your entire life because you can't pick it open because they wrap those bitches so fucking tight, and you're like trying to cut it open with your keys. And you throw it in the CD player and you drive around and listen to it. And you have that whole experience around it, right? And there's that whole thing of driving to the store, picking it out. Or when I was younger, what I would do is I would get a new CD and my parents would drive me home and they wouldn't want to listen to whatever fucking nonsense I was listening to. So, I would also, I'd get home, I'd throw out my CD player at home and I'd crank that bitch up and I'd pull out, CDs for those of you that don't buy them or don't know what CDs are. You pull out, there's there's a booklet in there of art. And usually if you're lucky, they get the lyrics, pictures of the band, things like this. And I would always, I'd flip through that booklet and listen to the songs and like read the lyrics along, and just lay on my bed and just dream about all this stuff, like that was a big thing for me. And so I think we miss out on also, like, in addition to the fact that, yeah, I can just hit next episode 15 times on Netflix. There's no anticipation there. But I think it's a lot of the tangential stuff, the experience of going to rent a video game. You don't have to worry about that. You're not begging your parents, oh, let's go to the store. And then you get hyped because dad comes home after work and goes like, yeah, okay, it's Friday night. Like, let's go rent you a video game, whatever, and oh my God, like you get all that hype. That doesn't exist anymore because you just kind of smash download and then you like walk away and grab a bag of chips and come back and you go like, all right, it's downloaded, let's fucking play. And that anticipation, I think a lot of people don't realize and don't get to realize the difference in anticipation and excitement and experience between those two events. Despite the fact the outcome's the same, you play the video game for the next 12 to 24 hours. It just isn't the same, as a kid from the 90s and early 2000s. So
Yeah, I think that also back when you were a kid, like you had limited resources, right? You couldn't just buy everything. You had to be very selective in what you picked, and you didn't have the internet to sort of ask the world what would be the best one to get. You just sort of had to go off your intuition. That was always fun. Like you try and talk to who you can about it, and you finally come to a decision. And like you said, getting a video game or a CD and going through the book and like all those extras just aren't there anymore. That's I even with physical media now, like when you buy a video game, it doesn't have a booklet in it. It's just the disc.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is just something that doesn't happen anymore. Yeah, it's kind of sad.
yeah, the experience. I mean, you'll get the free posters. You used to get like posters and shit. You get a poster of Master Chief in the Halo case, and like the
Yeah.
art of I don't know how much you guys did it. Rick, you may or may not have, but I used to when I got a job, spend a ton of my money on video games, and special edition was always the thing, right? So if it was a game I really wanted, for like every Halo game, because I fucking loved Halo and certain ones like that, I'd get the super special big dick fucking special edition thing. And like there just isn't that anymore. Special edition usually means like, you get a couple new in-game skins, whatever,
Right.
whatever.
Yep.
But instead, like I have posters, I have Master Chief's fucking helmet like sitting in this room somewhere. Like I have all this really cool like physical. I had a lunchbox. Yeah, you get all that shit behind Rick that people can't see 'cause whatever. But he's
I
got a
have
bunch of cool
Thor's
shit
hammer
that,
behind me.
yeah, you get a bunch of cool shit from the games.
Yeah.
And like there's so many things that just don't do that. It's like I don't know, you get an extra skin in the game and then like you get this weird free DLC that doesn't fucking matter. Whatever, fuck you. It just
Yeah.
it's just not there to like have and to hold and to like touch and experience.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think even seeing that as a kid, not necessarily growing up with it, but like seeing the experience that like Rick had or my older sisters had, like getting those games and getting that poster, and like Grand Theft Auto would come with a poster and things like that, and you'd always be like, oh, I wonder what it looks like, because like you said, Rick, there's no internet to like see it before it happened. Like you're experiencing all right there for the first time, and to have that, to look forward to that experience when you're old enough, then all of a sudden the gaming world changes and like everything around it kind of changes. You're just kind of like, I always feel a little like when I buy a game, I'm like, yeah, it's $75 now for this game. And I go to the store, and if I pick it out, like Madden or something like that, like I grab the disc and I just still feel like a little emptiness. Like I'm like, that didn't scratch the itch that I came here to scratch, even though I know it's exactly what I came here for and it's exactly what I'm going to want, but there's still something missing from it. And yeah, no, I think it has a lot to do with those extras that we were talking about. I mean, Christ, we look at games like Metal Gear Solid where you actually have to read the back of the game case to get a frequency code as part of the mission. You know what I mean? Like if you don't read that, you get screwed in game and you're stuck until, I don't know, enough hints come by and you can find it out later. But it's like,
I think after like an hour or two, it just gives it to you.
Yeah,
like,
you're a fucking idiot. Here it is. Like, yeah, you're not good at this. Here you go, bud. Let's get going.
And with the special editions that you can buy on PlayStation now, where you don't have the physical game case, I got screwed because I was playing it and I didn't have anything to look at. So I just looked it up on Reddit. But no, I think so yeah. So that's almost like delayed gratification, but then also like the people that are making those games know what kind of person is going to be opening this, right? They know what, like they need to do it right. And like you said, Zach, with album covers and music and things like that, like something that'll, I don't know, that'll last longer than the genre of music itself. Like we look at Queen and their album covers. I mean, they have some pretty notable ones. And then we look at any other bands from like the 70s from their, like it's art. And like I said, it lasts longer. Like you don't even have to like their music, but you can appreciate the album cover itself. And I think that says a lot too. So, but before we get into that, that's a whole nother topic we can probably talk about. But the instant gratification side of things, the way I look at it, it's just the convenience of it. Like, hey man, do you have this game? Oh no, I don't. Okay, I'll just download it real quick. You know what I mean? Or you can game share now, so you don't necessarily, it's not necessarily cost associated with it. You can just kind of use it. I remember, I mean, you can't rent games anymore. They used to have like Game Flow or something like that, where you could like rent a game in the mail, but then your PlayStation would have to download it for fucking hours and things like that.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day when I used to, so I got two things. Back in the day, like what you said, when your dad would come home on like a Friday and you go to the store, I always used to get the game Scarface, but I never had a memory card, so I had to beat it within the weekend and leave my PlayStation on all weekend.
Hell yeah.
Because I didn't have a memory card for some reason. So that's a little experience there. But I remember getting the same movie too, and it was Alvin and the Chipmunks Halloween special. And because I was too scared to jeopardize my movie pick for the weekend to get something wrong that I didn't like, I just consistently went with the comfort object that was Alvin and the Chipmunks. So I could probably recite the whole fucking 3 little movies that are in that one onto you. But that was just a safe bet. It's like watching Seinfeld over and over and over again now. It's like, I wonder how these two parallels connected in my life. If you would have asked me when I was 6 years old if I'd be rewatching Seinfeld, I'd be like,
no.
What's the deal? Yeah.
No, the thing too that like people don't get is I don't know that people are forming memory, and I guess I can't say whether my experience is better or worse than anyone's, but I have so many memories around going to get these items. So like 2 good examples I have is when I was a kid, Pokemon Yellow version came out, right? And that was a huge deal to me because I had read in a magazine, because the internet wasn't the internet yet. And I read in a fucking magazine or whatever. I used to get Nintendo Power all the time when I was a kid. That like Pikachu is gonna fucking follow you around, and everyone was flipping shit over that. Everyone's like, "Fucking it, it's gonna be just like the fucking show." Yeah, everyone was flipping tits, and I was like, "I want that shit so bad," because I grew up in prime fucking Pokemon time. I still love that shit. I still play it, honestly. Big jacked dude, fucking chasing Pikachu's and shit. But I remember when I was a kid, I asked my mom, I was like, "Dude, I really want this. Can we get this?" And my parents were very fucking good about all this shit. Like with me, like they probably gave up a lot to buy us shit. And so there was a night where my mom, like I think it was the night it came out, where my mom's like, "All right, get in the car, let's go look for a copy." We went to like 3 fucking stores trying to find this thing, and finding it. Like when she was like, "Oh, I think here it is," and she like pulls it out of the thing, and she's like, "Yeah, here it is. This is the one, right?" And I was just like, "Oh my god, yeah." Like it's this big deal. And I rush home and like I'm just fucking. I put the fucking goddamn batteries. Like new battery. And I'm playing this son of a bitch. It was the same thing when I got my Game Boy. My dad came home. Must have been a good day at work. "Hey, do you want to go get one of those Game Boys you keep talking about?" Fuck yeah, let's go. Pokemon Blue was the first game, and I still remember that. I remember one time, one of my other buddies when I was a kid was staying at my house for like a week or two for some reason, and a new System of a Down album came out. Call back to a couple episodes ago, System of a Down. And their Mesmerize album had just came out. And so my mom goes, "Hey, if you two mow the lawn, when you're done, we'll go buy an album for both of you. Like I'll buy a copy for each of you." So we fucking mowed that lawn at Mach fuck. Just rocked this thing out. And yeah, we went to the whatever fucking store. She bought us both a copy, and same thing. We went home, we popped it in my CD player, we fucking listened together, like just sat on my bed and listened together, ripped open that booklet, started flipping through the whole thing. And like those memories just aren't there if it's, oh guys, the new System of a Down is out, and you just whip it up on Spotify. Who fuck cares? So it's, yeah, I mean the instant gratification is nice, but it doesn't scratch the itch as hard, and it doesn't form those core memories the way that delayed gratification does. And I will say too, with all of the music, I listen to a ton more music now than I used to, which is really cool because I have access to it. But I'll also say I'm connected to each band or album or whatever less. There was a time where you could go on my iPod, and my buddy Lance did this. Shout out Lance, best man at my wedding. He did this to me. He'd say, "Hey, what song is?" He'd give me 3 seconds of a song, and I could name the song, artist, and album. Every fucking song. I had like thousands of those bitches on there. And now there's albums I listen to that I love. I don't think I can name a single fucking song unless I look at the list of tracks. So you're not as connected to it, in that way.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I think the convenience factor, like who do you think is to blame more, the consumer or the company when it comes to what we look at now? Like the landscape of video games and albums and things getting released on Spotify. Like I know Kaylee, big Taylor Swift fan, but when her like the Department of Dead Poets or whatever the fuck that album name is, uh, when it was coming out to Target, like in her discography and all that, I remember, and it was just on Spotify at midnight. I'm like, well, what the fuck? Now we can listen to it all. And it's almost like takes away buying it in a way. Like if you're just into it for the music aspect and you don't give a shit about the album cover or like all the discography stuff that comes with it, it's like, yeah, no, then you just get it for free if you pay a subscription. You know what I mean? So I guess, yeah. So who do you think is more to blame, the consumer or the company when it comes to this kind of new landscape that we see?
It's consumer. I'm going consumer. This is kind of the logical thing that we've asked for. People have asked for more and more convenient stuff steadily over the years, and with the once the internet got big enough to supply these things to us, and it became whatever. I think consumers have always wanted convenience. It's why fucking McDonald's has billions and billions fucking served.
Yeah, I go along with that. I also think that, I mean, there's definitely a part the producers sort of play, which is it's cheaper to just send it over the internet instead of having physical copies shipped out and made, and you got to comply with all the different devices. Like Europe can only play this style, and like with movies and whatever, and so it just sort of gets around that. And so I think the convenience on both sides is probably a factor, but I would agree that we definitely push for it.
Yeah, in a chicken versus egg thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I would also say that I think that the biggest, like you guys said, it doesn't scratch that itch as well as it used to, is because we're not having that journey to go get it. Like it's just there. Everything's a 2-second click away. It's not, you're not, the anticipation doesn't build, the journey's never taken. Yes.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely, and I think the gym, Eric, you said at the beginning, it's kind of the gym is a really good thing. Is like a lot of people, they just want to be skinny, or they just want to be strong, or they just want to be whatever. And it's like, well, when you're I don't have the most fun like just walking around and being like, I'm strong now. No, all of my fun is had in the gym, moving the weights, or doing the work. I think it's the same thing here. Like, I don't. I've recorded and released a bunch of music in my life, and walking around saying I've released an album, or whatever, is not as rewarding as what I went through to make that album in the first place, right? Like even and Rick was there for, of course, the Chaostrophe album. Shout out, stream us on Spotify; it's convenient.
Yeah.
But when we were making that album, I think it's cool for us to walk around and say we released an album. But I think a lot of the cool part was when we were recording it, writing the songs, and then even you choosing the art for the album cover and for the booklet, because our CD does have like a little booklet and all that shit. The whole thing, the whole journey of it, like I'm 10 years past the destination, and release day was cool because we played a show. But again, like the work is done, and now it's kind of like, okay, it's a thing of the past. I'm on to the next thing. So you got to take that journey is where all the fun is. It's where all the memories are.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same whether we're buying it or making it, either way.
Yeah, I would definitely say that making that album was an experience to say the least.
Fuck. Dude, it's fucking, that is some of the best times of my entire fucking life. Like that, what, 5-year period that band was like held together with duct tape and sticks and glue.
Yeah.
Some of the best fucking times of my entire life. And while I'm a 34, almost 35-year-old guy, like getting a college degree now and starting my career this late, it's because of all that shit I did in my 20s where I was trying to be in a band and trying to live that life. And I wouldn't trade it for a goddamn thing, because all those memories are incredible, and it's brought me incredible like friends and people and all this different shit. So,
Yeah.
I mean, in music it can all do the same. Like you go to a midnight release of Call of Duty, that used to be a thing. People would line up around the block for at their GameStop for a Call of Duty game. And how many friends do you think were fucking made there?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I just going back to kind of what you said earlier, Zach, with the people at the gym, and they want to be skinny, they want to be this, they want to be that. It kind of perfectly dovetails into our next topic here, which is the rise of pseudo-intellectuals. And why I bring up the get skinny quick and all that stuff is because we see that all the time. I think we see a lot of scams out there where it comes to hey, drink juicing for like juice, and you'll shrink down to a raisin, and you'll feel the best you've ever felt in your entire life. We see people like that trying to sell these juicers, trying to sell the juice itself. So instant gratification kind of came from a consumer based kind of way of life, and now we're kind of seeing the unintended consequences when it comes to scam likely, and just so easy to take to give things your money without an actual second thought, I guess, because it's so quick to spend that money now. Like you can literally click a button and spend $2,000, and then you get something in the mail that who knows if it's going to work, but you already bought it.
Well, and I think this is one too. That first topic might not sound very white noise to the fans, but this one definitely ties in because we've been scammed into having people like Dr. Oz in the government running important health functions. And he's one where it's wild because he was apparently, by what I understand, incredibly intelligent, very good doctor, all these things, but he chose to be a grifter instead. And it's got us here because people would rather believe Ben Shapiro and all these other, Charlie Kirk and all this shit than listen to an actual honest to God expert. And I think part of it might be, I think you're right, Eric, and that's an angle I hadn't thought of actually, is they want the instant gratification. And so when Dr. Oz goes on and he goes, hey, lowering your blood pressure is easy. Eat a little bit of cinnamon. You go, oh shit, I don't got to go to the doctor. I don't have to exercise. I don't got to take pills. I don't got to, and things like that also lead to, I mean, this is a huge, huge topic and we're barely going to scratch it here, but, it leads to distrust of authority, which then, they bill themselves as like the actual authority, blah, 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 like what doctors don't want you to know type of shit.
Yeah.
Right.
It's terrifying, honestly. It's, I guess, the main bullet point.
I think the instant gratification ties into this insofar as the pseudo-intellectual. They give you a convenient answer, right? And you haven't taken the time to arm yourself with the critical thinking required to see past that grift. And I think that in part, it's not solely because of this, but in part, it is a product of the internet and instant gratification and just, I want the answer now. I don't have to work for the answer. What if there isn't an answer? Then I'll just believe this asshole who just will charge me a lot of money to tell me the answer because I don't want to figure it out my damn self.
Then you get dickheads like V-Shred. Fuck that guy.
That guy sucks.
Well, dude, and the other part of it too is they give you a convenient answer and they feed on your fears, whereas on the other side, like, I mean, I know Rick, you and I are very we're fucking nerds, I'll say it. We like to get in there and dig in the nitty-gritty of how or why things are how they are. And so, I mean, what are these people going to do when they go to the doctor? Doctor says you're sick, do XYZ. Here's a big list, all these tests, all this bullshit. We're going to poke and prod you with needles. And then you flip on the TV and Dr. Oz says, just shove cinnamon up your dick hole. And then the food babe says, like, stop eating watermelon and you'll be fine. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I'll just do that and I'm good. I'll be great.
My cinnamon what the hell is it? My cinnamon
fucking cinnamon suppository.
No, what the catheter. Cinnamon catheter.
Oh, cinnamon. Yeah, my cinnamon. Oh, God. Mix it up. Well, that's why you have these motherfuckers doing. People are doing coffee enemas because they think it's healthy. My brothers and sisters in Christ, do not put coffee up your ass. Please. if you get nothing else out of any part of any of these episodes of this podcast, please let the one lesson be: do not dump coffee up your ass. Just drink it. You get so many health. It's very good for you. Just drink it. It doesn't do magic when you put it in your ass.
This coffee tastes like shit.
Yeah, it is shit, Austin.
Oh, good, it's not just me.
It's a bit nutty.
Yeah, a bit nutty. Fucking, classic. Fucking banger of a scene. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I can't imagine the like absolute sludge that comes out of your ass after you do a coffee enema.
Yeah, it's already brown, so it's convenient. You just lick your fingers. I think.
Oh my fucking God, Eric.
Bear with me, crowd. Bear with me. No, I agree with the grifting and things like that, and also a lot of like we see like chiropractors, and I got a personal kind of anecdotal story here for you. Anecdote, as to that's the way the word works. But with chiropractors, it's been my experience that unless they're also a physical therapist, don't waste your time. Because I've gone to a local chiropractor and boy, he gave me the ring dinger without even me asking for it, and he fucking cranked on that cocksucker. And and then he goes, did any cracks come from that? And I go, no. And he goes, well, it's you. You need to loosen up a little bit. And he does it again, and dude, it pulled my neck muscle even worse than the reason why I was in there. And then he goes, let's take some X-rays of you. And he puts me in this room, and I'm like, I've altered posture already because of the way my neck pain is hurting. So long story short, I go there for neck pain. This guy is trying to fucking like just get me because I just needed to get adjusted. I felt before I found out what was happening. And so he says, "Oh yeah, you have text neck," and I go, "No, dude, it's because it hurts. Like I can't push it back. Like that's why the X-ray looks fucked up, and I look like a fucking moron. It's because my neck is stiff." But and so we get done. The ring dinger happens. It didn't work, obviously. He tries to do a few cracks. That's not working. I'm just literally, my back is hardening up at this point. Like it's getting worse because of him. And we're sitting in his chair, and he goes, "So I can fix this for you. It's going to be about 3 months of weekly sessions and this, that, and the other thing." And he goes, "Do you have insurance?" And I go, "Yeah, I have insurance. I'm gonna let them know about this." He goes, "We don't need to let them know about this. This is that's just a lot of paperwork. They're probably just going to deny it anyway. A lot of insurances don't recognize a chiropractor when they see one." So, and I go, I don't know, because it was like $3,000 out of pocket to go there for 3 months.
God.
And I go, if I met my deductible of my insurance and they do cover it, I could come here for free. And he goes, "No, you don't want to get insurance involved." I go, "All right." So
I was that guy in business, dude.
Yeah, he
You
went to
just
Harvard.
throw $3,000 at cracking someone's back.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So I didn't go there. I went to a physical therapist, and he goes, "Oh, I know what this is right away. Your joint is all messed up." He says, "You were working on something this weekend, right?" And I go, "Yeah." He just gave me one crack, and he goes, "This one will be free if for some reason it hurts you again tomorrow, come back." And it didn't. He fixed me for like $20 copay. And I was like, "All right, good
Dude,
deal."
that's the thing. When my shoulders got fucked up from lifting, we didn't do any, or I shouldn't say that. I did one session of like some sort of actual tissue work, right? A lot of it was like self-done. Like I used like a lacrosse ball to like roll into the muscles to loosen shit up before I would lift. Like that was part of the thing, was like, hey, we're gonna make sure these muscles are like okay, and we're gonna um not make them talk to you as much so you can just bench press normally, whatever.
Yeah.
And I did one session where like we did some like cupping shit and some like more advanced like stretching shit, because like I was like, I don't know, it's not really getting any better. Shit just fucking hurts. Can we do something? And I had back problems and went to a chiropractor once, but most of it wasn't cracking my back. It was like a bunch of massage to loosen shit up, and then I had to do some stretching while it, like, once it was loosened up and nice and warm and shit. And then I think the stretching just kind of comes for free. I don't know. There's no point. But dude, like the cracking your back, you're not going to adjust your fucking spine. People get hit by cars and their spine doesn't get adjusted. Why the fuck do you think some fucking dipshit can just twist you, and it could, like, a lot of people don't realize, like, you're not adjusting your fucking spine. You're not moving that, especially like, a guy like me. I'm big enough. I'm not a huge fucking dude, but even I know I'm have enough muscle on me that I'm not going to, like, my spine ain't fucking moving around in there unless you dig in there with surgery and Ronnie Coleman the fuck out of me. Um, it's just not going to happen, But yeah, like what you said is spot on, dude. Like if your chiropractor is not all like, if your physical therapist thinks you got to like crack your neck or something a little bit, sure, that's whatever. And I know a chiropractor, love him to death. He's very smart, and he'll do a good job. But a lot of chiropractors just sell snake oil, dude. Like they just fucking, everything's wrong with your spine. Like
Yeah.
everything. It's all you got diarrhea. Your spine's fucked up. What are your girlfriend broke up with you? It's because you got a fucked up spine, bro. Like you're out of alignment. Like you can't piss good. Dick doesn't get hard. You can't fucking come anymore. Like all that shit. Oh, back's fucking twisted. It's like, no, it's not. That doesn't fix what the fuck are we doing here, man? It's wild. It's wild to me that they're just so focused on that shit.
Yeah, definitely a lot of snake oil in chiropractors' profession. Like, yeah, I've heard a guy freaking was talking to me about they went to a chiropractor because they had sinus issues, and
You need to go to a pharmacy counter. My
He's
guy.
like, yeah, I got my back cracked and my sinuses cleared. I was like, or you were just sick, and then it just lined up with when you had your appointment, and then you weren't sick anymore. Nope,
No,
that's not it. The chiropractor did it. Cracking my back made my sinuses clear up and my cold go away. That's what it
dude.
was.
By
I have
what?
this. I have this anti-lion rock. It's a good thing I have it, otherwise there'd be a bunch of lions around.
Dude, we gotta start selling those. Buy the White Noise Lion Rock at whitenoise.com/rock.
Be cautious of zoos. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Every chiropractor that I've been to has always been a little, and they always said, I went to one back when I was in college too, and he just goes, yeah, your feet aren't lined up. One's higher than the other. I go, really? Like I feel like I'm still wearing one shoe. That's why. Like, like, can you look at this a little bit further? And he goes, nah, no, you're just misaligned. So he gave me two different sized orthopedic that you put in your shoe, those
Yeah.
things. And then I had worse back problems from that because I was always constantly at a fucking angle. Like I was perpetually sitting on my wallet while I was standing too. So
Jesus Christ.
yeah. So
That's bad.
that was fun. But yeah, man. So where are we going with this?
That's a lot. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of shit to talk about here, honestly. But it's just because this has gotten us where it was or where we are that I'm so irritated by it. Because there's so many people out there that are communicating science really well. Like, I mean, on Instagram or TikTok, like, sure, I get fed a lot of science-based people. And listen, the idea that like you shouldn't listen to one guy or one woman, one person, no matter their qualifications, right? But you do need to ask questions to some degree, right? Because some people still are doctors, like medical doctors. Some people still are nutritionists, and they decide to be grifters because it makes them more money, and they're not above doing that. So you do need to ask the questions. You need to have a consensus, and I think what a lot of people don't realize, which feeds this, shitfluencer scammer pseudo-intellectual bullshit, is that there's a consensus that needs to be had in science, especially. So when you listen, yeah, I mean, I recently saw a reel. So Lane Norton, really smart dude, whatever, got called out by another really smart dude that I follow. Right. So it's an example of like, look, you can't just listen to one person, and you need to always kind of have that in the back of your head. Like, well, this might not be correct. And you got to kind of couch it in that sometimes, but you just, I don't know, like that. It's the appeal to authority thing. You hear people like Paul Saladino. People go, well, he's a doctor. He's a doctor. Well, no, he was a psychiatrist. So when he talks about not getting a lot of medical or not a lot of nutrition training in his medical degree, well, no fucking shit. You aren't dealing with that. So when he says eat 10 pounds of fucking meat and just shove honey up your ass and like do whatever the fuck that is and don't touch a vegetable or you'll die, it's coming from a fucking psychiatrist who decided to be a grifter, either A, because it's more money, or B, because he was a shitty psychiatrist, or C, which is both. But you also have, I mean, the example I put on here is a computer scientist. So the food babe as a computer science degree. So why is she talking about food on the internet and nutrition and fear mongering that while selling unregulated supplements to the masses? Well, because probably couldn't write code to save her life. And so she decided to be a grifter.
Yeah.
I mean, they feed the distrust that we have. And that's honestly how Donald Trump gets elected. Like, I think that's the first domino that falls to Trump.
100%.
Yeah, and I think too, it's some of it has to do with like I said, the world that was created because of instant gratification is like the people suffering from it are the people that created it basically, and like it's almost through no fault of their own that they're getting scammed, and like yeah, you can read more, you can do more, but there are things that are just like, oh shit, yeah, this is just wildly super convenient. I'm not going to fucking look beyond surface level, and it says it's going to help me, so I'm just going to buy it. And a lot of that, I believe, is the older generation that told us when we were younger not to believe everything we see in the internet. So I think it's just kind of a perfect irony, full circle moment for them that now they're the ones. I mean, we have to think about, the older generation getting phone calls and not listening to spam calls and things like that. It's like we have to look out for them. I remember I was the representative for the HR team for our retirement group, and that was the sole focus for like 5 months straight was there's a new scam going around. It's like,
don't give your money away.
It's like, brother, if you don't fucking know the guy, don't give him $10,000 of the only money you have left until you're dead in a couple weeks. Please.
Nobody wants you to pay your Comcast bill or your cable bill in fucking iTunes gift cards. They're never going to call you and ask for your fucking bill in iTunes gift cards. That's never going to happen.
Yeah. This form of currency that you've never heard of before, but now all of a sudden they need it as a company to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You must pay in rupees. No, dude. Not doing that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, like you said, but there's that, like, the appeal to authority, like, well, Trump said it. Well, fucking this person said it. It's like, well, let's dive in a little bit, huh? Let's not just watch fucking TV for 6 hours and buy whatever they're selling. I mean,
Well, it's
infomercials were
RFK
bad.
too. Fucking RFK is he's doing a master class on this shit right now. People are freaking out about RFK is going to make us healthy. Look, he's banning the food dyes and all this shit.
Yeah.
And they're saying, well, like, look, this is what he spent his life on. RFK does not have training or knowledge of nutrition or of vaccines or of full-blown autism, as he likes to call it. He doesn't have an education in any of this shit. So you cannot, like, he is one where you can pretty much flatly not listen to him. I mean, again, I probably say shit on here that's a little bit out of my pocket, whatever, and that's fine. So fact check me. Oh, we got some fucking vibes going. Little backing track.
For some reason, an alarm set. That's why I didn't go out this morning. Set it for PM.
Yeah. Oh, six son of a bitch. That's why I was late for that meeting. But no, RFK's doing a fucking masterclass on it. And it's a good example of why you got to don't just appeal to that. You got to get a consensus and you got to do a little bit of digging. And sometimes it sucks, but it's going to pay off on the long hand when you're not so worried about fucking red 40 that you forget to eat fucking vegetables and exercise because you're so fucking scared of that because you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. No one person should be your savior on any one topic. Like, again, like Zach said, look for the consensus. Because the thing about science is that scientists, like actual ones, not the wannabes,
Not the food babe.
not the food babe, they want to be proven wrong, and they're incentivized to prove each other wrong. Like, they do an experiment, and then they submit that for peer review, and people try to poke holes in it. That's the whole thing. That's the whole idea, is to have someone poke a fucking hole in what you did. And if they can't, then it proceeds to the next step. And then it builds and builds and builds that way. It is a self-correcting system that we've come up with. And it's the best we've got to discover truths about our fucking reality.
It's a tough, dude. It's tough. Peer review shit is tough. I've had to write, I've done research in school, not that's like for published or anything, but I've had to write to the standard of like, my thing would be like the IEEE. And it's fucking tough, dude. Like, if you fucking indent shit wrong, if you format your formulas wrong, if you format your tables or your whatever, your images wrong, if any of that goes wrong, they will reject your paper. It is fucking hard. It's not this matter of like, there are some journals where you slip them some money and they'll fucking publish anything, same shit. But if you're doing a real good peer-reviewed article submitting to a very good journal, it's fucking hard to get it submitted. So yeah, no, don't let anyone fuck with you and go like, they're not reading it. That peer review is bullshit. It's tough. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect system, but it's tough.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like Rick said, dude, that's the system that we have to prevent most of the shit that people have issues with now. But I think that's a good place to stop. I think everybody out there, if what you were listening to, take it from me. I've been scammed more times than I can even say, and by that I just mean the instant gratification fact took over, and I was just like, okay, get skinny quick pills, got it. That didn't work. Made me fatter. Okay, what's next? Fucking McDonald's because I'm sad now. So I'll eat because I'm fat, and I'm fat because I eat.
Jesus Christ.
But no, do your research out there, and then also, take for what we say with a grain of salt too. Form your own opinion, but make sure it's educated. Please, for the love of God, do some fucking research. And tell your friends to do it too, because we're getting dumber as a society, and I don't like it. So thank you.
Facts, homie.
Food Babe show me the fucking Food Babe peer review. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I want to see her research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy our anti-lion rock and our chakra aligning crystals, by the way, at whitenoisepod.com/merch.
I thought you were gonna say whitepower.com. I was
Whitepower.com. No, that's a different website that I don't run.
Kanye's a big fan. All right,
Yeah,
we'll see you
Kanye
guys
is.
later. Thank you. for listening.
Lamborghinis.
Love you, bye.